So on the opposite end of the spectrum, Julius Randle currently shooting 31.6% from the field. I looked it up on StatHead. The last time Randle had an 8-game stretch in a season shooting this poorly was as a 21-year-old playing his first full season in the NBA. Now, I get that a guy can get cold from three, but how is he shooting 29.4% in the restricted area? Like, how is that even possible? And I know you just posted an article about how he's using Mitchell Robinson's screens to help him break out of this slump. So what is the path forward for Julius?
So you asked Julius about it, and he talks about how crowded the paint is. You know, the Knicks don't really have three-point shooting, and he always talks about how he's running into bodies, is the way that he puts it. But I don't think that's the reason, because they have the exact same starting five they did last year. And 8 of the 9 rotation players they had last year are back. And I'm not buying it. I'm just not buying it. Meanwhile, the only change they made in the rotation was subbing out Obi Toppin and bringing in Dante DiVincenzo, who's a better three-point shooter. They had a cramped paint last year. Maybe it's more cramped this year because teams know how they operate, know who they are, and know that they can pack the paint against them. But Julius found a way to be all NBA. I'm not buying that as why he's not hitting shots. Look, he's coming off of ankle surgery. I think it would be irresponsible to mention that. He had it over the summer, and he wasn't able to play 5-on-5 all summer. He wasn't cleared for 5-on-5 until training camp, and he's a guy who normally, that's how he works out over the summer. He plays a lot of pickup. That's kind of his. Some guys don't play as much pickup. He plays a lot. So I'm sure that messed with his rhythm, and I'm not surprised that he started cold. That being said, he started the year through 6 games. He was 17% in the restricted area. 17%.
Holy
and was shooting
smokes.
27% from the field and 22% from three. And you know what my take from the Knicks' first 6 games was? When Julius just, I mean, insane, like 15 plus shots a game and 27% from the field. And it wasn't just that. I mean, like, you know, not really running back on defense and not moving the ball as well as he should and all these other things. And my crazy hot take, which I feel like Alex will like this take. My take is that if Julius Randle were a little better in the first 6 games, I would have been more pessimistic about his season. Like he was so bad
that it just felt like an anomaly.
So inexplicably bad that I'm like, this is, no one would shoot 27% on this many shots. And the way the misses are terrible and the shots are terrible and the way he's operating is terrible. Like, he was fantastic last year. He was great. He was all NBA last year. He was fantastic. And there's just no way. Like, if he was shooting 34%, I'd be like, oof, cold start for Julius. He's operating more like he did 2 years ago. This isn't great. But when he was shooting 27, I was like, no way. This is just fake. I'm just not even buying this. This is just a glitch. It's not even real. Like, there's nothing to take away from this. It's so horrific. Like, they'll just change literally everything. And they've tried some new stuff to get him going. And he was good on Monday against the Clippers. He got downhill going to the rim a bunch. I think he was 5 for 9 at the rim in that game, which is not a phenomenal number, but he was struggling to get to the rim. You know, when I said he was shooting 17%, he was 3 for 18 in 6 games. That's 6 times a game, or 3 times a game at the rim. I mean, that's not Julius Randle, you know, and maybe that comes back to the ankle. But he got to the rim 9 times in that Clippers game. They're using different actions to spring him there. As you mentioned, I just wrote about how he's running pick and rolls with Mitchell Robinson now, which is a thing that he never did. And that's a way that they're trying to get the opposing big man away from the paint, which is allowing Julius to get downhill more because he has to come up high with Mitch when Mitch sets the screen. I think he'll turn it around. I think he'll be good. But those first 6 games were like crazy. Everyone's like, the Knicks are 2-4. What's up with the Knicks? I'm like, whatever is up with the Knicks. Like, the answer is it's just that Julius Randle is shooting 5 for 20 all the time. And they're losing a close game to the Bucks, and they're losing a close game to the Cavs, and they're losing a close game to Boston. And if Julius just shoots like 35% in 2 of those games. Now the Knicks are 4-2, and now they're 6-2, and nobody's saying anything about what's wrong with the Knicks.
Yeah, you know? I'm glad you brought up the rim volume, because I was watching the Clippers game and I was watching his possessions at the rim, and it felt more just like, I think Zubac is just having like a good game as a rim defender. Like, he blocked him twice. He was affecting a lot of shots. But like you mentioned, like, Randle was getting to the rim more in that game. It just felt like every time he got there, Zubac was making a pretty nice play most of the time. So that's interesting. Okay, so early in the season, he wasn't even getting to the rim.
You guys should know that. You're like longtime diehard Knicks fans.